Hey there, my name is Pravus, and welcome to more Hearts of Iron 4. We are taking a look at a different mod today. It is called Führerreich, and asks the question, what would have happened if Germany had lost World War I? Now, you might be asking, what do you mean? Germany did lose World War I. Yes, they did. But what if they lost it from the perspective of someone who lived in the Kaiserreich universe? It's kind of a double-blind alternate history, right? You got our world, and then you ask what would have happened if they had won, and then you get Kaiserreich, and then someone within Kaiserreich asks the question, what would happen if they had lost, and then you get Führerreich. And you think it's one of those situations of a double negative where it circles right around to our universe, and it kind of does, but at the same time, not perfectly. And that's where Führerreich is born. My understanding is this was created by enthusiasts of Kaiserreich who decided to do things a little bit different. So we're gonna jump into it. We're gonna see what is involved and if this is any fun at all. Now, right off the bat, you'll notice we do have a different cast of characters. I mean, Lenin is in charge of the Soviet Union, for one. You got Charles Curtis as President of the United States. You got Adam Dressler in charge of Deutsches Reich. Who's this guy? Don't know, but he's not Mr. Mustache Man, which means I can actually play as Germany today and hopefully not get demonetized. So we're gonna give this guy a shot. We gotta find out what happens in Führerreich after all, right? To Germany, it just makes a lot of sense. I think this guy, by the way, is supposed to be based off of Drexler, who was the founder of the German Workers' Party before a certain man decided to co-opt it into the National Socialist German Workers' Party. I believe that's who this is based off of, but otherwise is a fictional character. His ideology is the Volkists. What's the difference? Don't know, we're gonna find out. New history. The new Reich has arisen. It has been 4 years since Dressler's Volkists secured power after winning the snap elections. The economy is thriving once again, with the Volkists funneling ungodly amounts of money into the arms industry to ensure that in the upcoming wars, no one will stand up to Germany's greatness. Only the upcoming years will decide whether Dressler's dreams remain dreams, or if the Führerreich will become more than the sum of its parts, with Germany being the superpower it always aspired to be. Alright, this should be kind of fun. Now, for the most part, the map looks kind of familiar. There are a few differences, though. For example, the Czech state and Slovakia are already split up. That's a thing. Spain apparently has already been split up into 4 different countries. Okay, that's gonna be interesting. Or maybe they're already at war. It's like an early war there, an early civil war. I have no idea. What is this? We have a demilitarized zone with Denmark? Maybe. And who are you? The Inter-Allied Rhineland. The Rhineland is independent? Oh, I can't allow any of that. Any other major differences I see along here? For the most part, this seems about normal. British Raj, China's already got some explosions going on there. The West Indies, actually looks like the Netherlands lost a lot of land. That's fun. And then Synarchist Mexico? Yeah, we got some differences here, guys. It's not a perfect translation of the real world. It's the double blind. We went to alternate history, and then we went to alternate history. And the real question becomes, what happens if you go one step further into alternate history? I don't know. We're gonna find out, though. Let's go ahead and jump into it and see what happens. Looks like Greece is having a better time as well. And Italy has some of southern Turkey. Oh, interesting. Actually, I noticed a kingdom of Italy and a kingdom of Poland. We got some monarchists left over here, huh? That's gonna be fun. All right, first things first, let's take a look at the national focus trees. What do we got? A few things over here, actually. Seems perfectly reasonable, but only one option available at the very beginning of the game. It is called Strengthen Our Government. We must legitimize ourselves after these snap elections. No problemo, we can definitely do that. Dressler, are you good at anything? No, you got a lot of text over there, but no modifiers. If we can get rid of you in favor of someone else, I might just do that. That's a lot of different ideologies here. Goodness gracious, I don't even want to try to pronounce all of this. But the Volkists are, by and large, the most popular. And there's actually National Populists, which apparently is different here. So that's interesting. What kind of modifiers we got? A divided government, which is costing me some political power and stability. We definitely want to get rid of that. Also the Bremen Accord, which I assume is going to be similar to the real-life treaty, which restricts some of our naval construction. That'll be my guess. We do have a few different research slots. Anything new here? This all looks fairly normal to me. Yes, I don't see anything really crazy and outstanding over here. All right, so nothing crazy with all of that. Now, I'll be honest, that is something of a relief, because I actually was going to try to record the World Ablaze mod instead, and then I jumped into it, I'm like, oh my god, this looks so much more complicated. So I I gave up on that one right quick. But yeah, anyway, so we're gonna need to train up a lot of troops and stuff, but is there anything else I really want to get early on? We could go ahead and start working on some of the equipment, I suppose. The most important thing, getting that construction speed and so on. Führerreich Alpha 0.5.1. Let's see. This is just talking about the mod. What's up with popularity? Or is there a fact anywhere? I mean, if we just click the buttons, we get extra political power. This is the meta move right here. Oh, no, we lose it immediately. Dang you! You're right. All right. News events are for losers. Now we'll only have the important ones. It's fine. I don't need to read absolutely everything, do I? All right, so we do want to get ourselves at least a good handful of civilian factories early on, I think. We do want to also consider getting ourselves some oil refineries fairly early on in the game. But for now, let's start with this. We should have a little bit of time. Gather up my entire army and bring them together as one, then split them up into two. Okay, and for military factories, I am going to want to go for one heck of an air force. I do think that's going to be a requirement. I don't really care about building a bunch of your garbage U-boats. We'll just go ahead and reduce some of this a few times, finish out what we've got, and then, let's see, I got a handful more factories. Let's go ahead and start working on some infantry equipment, a bit more support, and then some artillery or something like that. Plus, let's say a little bit more motorized. I do need to train up lots of troops, though, because I am assuming, I don't know if this is true, but I'm assuming that we are going to need a lot in order to do a sort of Anschluss sort of event. Now, that may not be here. I have not explored the new national focus tree for the Deutsches Reich. So we'll see what happens. What are we producing that's outdated? Just ships? I don't care about ships. Ships, it isn't. Are we ever gonna be a naval power? I think not. What do we got here, by the way? One-party dictatorship? Well, hello, we have different government types. Ooh, Theocratic Republic. A theocrat, I can set myself up as a godhead? That sounds amazing. Constitutional monarchy, failing states, revolutionary movement. Huh, these are all kind of cool, actually. So what does the one-party state do for us? Well, it increases our consumer goods, which is terrible. Surrender limit goes up, mobilization speed goes up, civilian and military factory conversion, and then we focus on offense and war production if we were an AI. Doesn't strike me as that good, but I'll bet you at least some of these end up being pretty awesome. Probably at least a few. Anything that's going to reduce consumer goods modifier would seem pretty good to me. All right, well, let's just go ahead and speed forward a little bit. I do, of course, want to assign a few generals. Let's see. Well, Rommel's still here. We're going to win the war. We've got Rommel still. Everything's completely fine. Actually, his stats are not that fantastic now that I think about it, but okay. Regardless, we'll go ahead and toss, I don't know, a field marshal. How about... You seem fine, and then we just go ahead and get a quick general. You seem fine, and we just toss you in over here. We'll give you, I don't know. You seem fine. Perfect. All right. So we got our troops. We can go ahead and start doing some training, try to farm out a little bit of army experience. See what we can do with all of that. What kind of templates are we looking like here? Just standard infantry, pretty standard motorized and light tank divisions. This isn't the worst thing in the world. I mean, we're starting at 18 combat with, like, right off the bat on at least a few of these. And then we do have militia, which I don't care about that much. I definitely don't care for these cavalry divisions. They kind of suck. But we'll worry about all of that a little bit later. So what's going on up here with Denmark? Have we demilitarized this area completely? Because I noticed that we don't have, you know, the Maginot Line, but that's probably because the Rhineland exists as an independent state. I'm gonna have to deal with that. We must legitimize the government. It's been an international pariah ever since the end of the Great War. The Treaty of Versailles carved our nation apart and left it a shadow of its former glory. In 1933, Adam Dressler led a coup which put his Volkist party in power. Though it was massively popular with the people of Germany, the Entente powers, with the support of Britain, put sanctions on our nations and spread propaganda to our citizens criticizing Dressler as an anti-Christian warmonger. In this troubled time, many factions arose in Germany to undermine the Volkist Party, using the international controversy to their advantage, misspelled. Popular war hero Göring has been the leader of the second largest nationalist faction for many years. Though he sees eye to eye with Dressler on many issues, he disagrees with the radical philosophy and believes we have a fighting chance to win another great war. Germany must be self-sufficient. Göring has laid out a 4-year plan. Okay. Alternatively, let's see, when he took power, he disbanded the Reichstag. Vocal opponent to liberal democracy, saw the Reichstag as the only roadblock in the way to restoring the greatness of Germany. He suspected funds from France, though many pro-democracy... Sorry, suspected? You mean suspended funds from France. Though many pro-democracy factions have pushed for the reestablishment of the Reichstag. Now, despite the inherent slowness of democratic systems, plans have been drawn up in which Adam Dressler would remain chancellor for life with final legal say. But a new Reichstag will be formed to draft laws and administer smaller local issues. Giving power to a separate legal body may danger the influence of Dressler, but the facade of democracy may satisfy the French and the liberals within our borders. Why do we have French within our borders? This is my question. Within the inner circle of the Volkist Party, a final solution has been drafted to have any opposition to Dressler eliminated. A great purge will rid Germany of anyone who seeks to undermine Volkist authority. And we will be the unquestionable Führer of all Germans. Are we going for a USSR-style Great Purge event? Because if so, that seems pretty bad. I'm just gonna say, that seems pretty bad. All right, well, next option, purge opposition. Oh, good. And this is gonna greatly increase my consumer goods, but it's gonna cause some stability and some Volkist support, because you don't have a choice. See the little gun that I have? See my Mauser? You do not have a choice. You will support the Volkist Party. This is how it go. What kind of political systems are we seeing with the other states? So United Kingdom and the French are going to have their social conservatives. It looks like various different factions of Spain are at war, so it does start in a state of civil war. That's interesting. Italy is mostly social democrats, authoritarian democracy in Poland, socialists, of course, in the Soviet Union. Not led by Lenin? Is Lenin dead? Is this what has happened? I don't know. Ottoman Empire, social liberals, interesting. Not in the best of spots. The Hellenic Republic with the market liberals. Phoenicia exists as a nation. So wait, you're telling me that Britain gave up, and France actually, gave up some of this territory? That's interesting. The Jewish Protectorate. It's a vassal under the British, but the Israelis colonized state in this case is a little early. Interesting, interesting. Okay. People in China are fighting it out. Unsurprising, not a big deal. We have purged the opposition. Now what? Purge the democratic sympathizers, which is gonna reduce social conservatism, or the ambitious army officers. Well, this seems bad, but does it lead to really good stuff? Get rid of Göring to get rid of populism, and then we get rid of the guy who gives me air doctrine research speed, which is unfortunate. Research speed? Wait a minute. Hang on. No. We got our normal doctrines here. When you say research speed, it does nothing. We've learned this before. All right, so we get rid of that. Land doctrine research speed. Yet neither of these seem to matter, as far as I'm aware. Force oaths of loyalty. Remove the divided government, army experience gain, organization, planning speed. Okay. Alternatively, get rid of the social conservatives, get rid of divided government early, add purge bureaucracy, which is gonna give you the political power gain anyway, or add controversial death, which makes it harder for me to improve relations with other people. I'm okay with that. Ban political organizations, state newspaper, and then okay, so what would I prefer? I'll be honest, I kind of like the idea of going down this route if I'm going for it. I mean, I don't see any of this as being outstanding as long as we get rid of that divided government. I don't want to have purge bureaucracy, which hurts my political power. If there was a time limit on this, I'd say maybe. I'm okay with this, but then do I really care about losing a bunch of stability and just getting 5% political power gain, or would I rather have stronger units? I think the answer is I'd rather just have stronger units. More organization, and like doctrines, you know, what are they gonna do? Also, like the most dangerous party I gotta worry about is with Göring right now. So like, let's just get rid of him. Let's just get rid of him entirely. A Troika is founded in the Soviet Union after the, oh, Lenin is dead. Lenin went poof, all right. Let's see, a bunch of people have formed a Troika to oppose the Trotskyite takeover. Interesting, so we got rid of Trotsky, okay. So there's something interesting going on in the Soviet Union then. That's a little interesting, a little different. Okay, no Stalin yet. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with no Stalin. No Stalin for me, thank you very much. Should be fine. What's going on in Hungary? They are a republic. Interesting, okay. Are you gonna go down a national populist route? You're led by authoritarian Dems, despite the fact that social conservatives are supposed to be the most populist there, but all right. So I guess we'll just go ahead and get rid of Göring. I don't really see any reason not to. I mean, I'll probably never get the land doctrine research speed anyway because I don't think it works unless something's been tweaked in this. But just be safe, I'll get rid of national populism and I'll get rid of the air doctrine by getting rid of the guy who is vocally against me. Look, If you're gonna be like one of them nationalist folks, it's fine. But you can't oppose my radical stuff. What we can do by getting rid of him is all the other people who were his followers are gonna be confused and they're gonna naturally start flocking to me instead. There we go. We can't have any competitors on the right-wing side of our country. I want to consolidate all of the power. So we can already get off of early mobilization and then go to partial mobilization. I don't see a reason not to. Is there any sign in here as to a problem? See, like, I'm so super worried about this because, like, when I was planning for something like the World Ablaze mod, there's like penalties to mobilizing your economy when you really don't need to. So I'm just checking and making sure. But if it's not a problem, then I don't see a reason not to just go for this. I mean, get rid of some of the consumer goods, start building up those cities a little bit faster, which, by the way, feel like they're building really slowly. I could be wrong on that point. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's messed up. Japanese spy arrested. Fun. Let's trade for a little bit of rubber. A little bit of rubber will be good. We have eliminated the goring problem, and now we can go for force of oath of loyalty. We're gonna get rid of that divided government. The military serves me, and whoever holds the military power rules the Deutsches Reich. All right, that's how it's gonna be. Might makes right. It's a tale as old as time. Portugal has declared war on the Republic. Pardon-moi? Looks to me like they're fine over here. There is apparently, however, in Africa, the Portuguese colonies have formed a new republic. Well, that's gonna be interesting. What are you gonna do? What is Portugal without its colonial holdings, though, really? I mean, if without that, do they even have anything? Not really, no. We are on limited exports. Am I okay with that? Maybe. What kind of ministers am I looking at? Anton von Arco of Valley? Okay, lose some political power in exchange for stability and war support. I'm guessing this is gonna be like Kaiserreich, where I have like a set cabinet for the party and I don't really have a choice. Rosenberg is okay, but not great. I mean, meh, that's a very small amount of stability and stuff. Hell, oh no! He's an administrative genius! Doubt. Very, very doubt. But look at that factory output and stuff. Okay, he's actually really good. Why are these mods making me say things I don't want to say? Oh gosh, and then Earhart. Political power gain, local resources, lose manpower, consumer goods. I don't like him. Head of intelligence, that's gonna be an option at some point as well. Yeah, I don't know, this game just insists between all the various different mods, if you play on the right-wing side of things, it just makes me say stuff I really don't wanna say. Such as, Mr. Mustache Man is actually pretty good. No, that's one of those like don't take it out of context kind of deals, you know? I'm okay with having dispersed again. I still just like that efficiency, retention, and base. So we'll go for that. I will want to go for things like oil processing at some point, but maybe not this second. What else can I work on? We've already got some decent subs, so I'm not gonna worry about those yet. Could upgrade artillery a little bit, but that's not gonna make a big difference. I'm just looking for anything that like I need to produce. We probably should know how to make trains. I'm hoping I don't need any. The game typically does start you off with at least a handful of trains and stuff, but it would probably be wise to have some on hand just in case, all right? Last thing I want to do is get into this and find out that I can't actually transport any goods and services around to my people, right? Okay, so we have forced the oath of loyalty. Now we can expand the TST. I don't know what the TST stands for, but it is a thing. So we will suppress my opponents. This gets me stability. I get a lot more political power, recruitable population, division attack and defense on core territory and training time. That's outstanding. Very, very powerful, and it doesn't have an expiration date. So just straight out, the Deutsches Reich is gonna start looking pretty good. Pretty darn good. We'll not worry about some of this stuff. Let's go to intelligence or head of command and see if we can get like some army experience per day. That's really good. Wow. Infantry attack and defense, 10 and 15% respectively. I like it. I like it a lot. Air experience, okay. And then naval and naval. Let's go for some early army experience. I know another option would be to maybe go for something like an industrial company. And I don't think that's a bad plan. It is probably wise to get that. There is an Indian rebellion. Hello, British Raj. Woo, look at India go. I mean, I don't even know if I'm going to war with the Entente. Let's be completely honest. I have no idea. Oh gosh, they're national populists. Anyway, I don't know what's gonna happen here as far as the Entente and whether I'm even really going to war with them. I'm kind of assuming that I am the Neo-Iranian Empire. Fascinating. But Seeing stuff like this is kind of exciting, because it means that the Entente is going to be a little bit weaker, because the Imperial Protectorate faction's not looking quite as strong. Also, wait a minute. France is Italy and France over here, and Britain is on their own. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, so Britain is the faction, the whole faction. Oh, they're a little bit spoopy. Okay, don't like them, don't like them. So now we get to decide where to go from here. Do we go for a TST debate, which gets me some sort of a question, and I can start, like, trying to put people into, like, being super troopers? Okay. Or Legacy of the Weltkrieg, army experience, sure. Air, naval, direction of the economy, German spirit, research slots, that could be pretty good. I mean, I do like the idea of going for an extra research slot early, and then we can make Volkism, like, just straight out better. Also, reduce training time, infrastructure construction, civilian factory construction speed reduction, that's pretty good. Monthly population, yeah, there's a lot we can do along over this. What does an archaeology mission to Scandinavia have to do with anything? Alternatively, we decide on the direction of an economy, and we have to choose an economic minister. Well, it looks to me like if we go down this route, Volkism seems to take a slightly more socialistic route, as opposed to this, which reduces tariffs, lots of imports. That's not quite what I expected out of this guy, if I'm being completely honest with you. All right, let's start with direction of the economy and just see what happens, but after that, I'm probably gonna go down the German spirit route. So the alternative here is a guy who's really good at infrastructure construction speed. Huh. I mean, if I'm completely honest, it seems better. But depending on what all of this does, all right, we just get a bunch of free factories. But for years, we have nasty penalties on some of this. A German arms deal, make naval fields better, lower tariffs against the Czechs, get a bunch of good stuff, construct a special dam. So he's a visionary who actually, like, builds up our infrastructure. Strasser, on the other hand, I like construction speed, antitrust laws, private sector workers collective. I just want to, oh, see, it seems strangely more progressive. I just want to make sure this isn't going to do something I don't like. For example, swap us away from the Volkists. Industry standards does nothing. Better infantry equipment? Wow. And then a whole bunch of factories. So here's the thing, right? I'm looking at this and I see things like consumer goods reduction, which seems great. I hate losing the construction speed we'd get, but it gets offset by things like this, which gets me production efficiency cap, which is kind of what happens if you do this. I'm just looking at this and I'm like, if I pick up 1, 2, and 3, don't they offset each other, like, completely? I go back to the same number of consumer goods, back to the same efficiency cap, and I'll have the same construction speed. I'm just saying, does that make sense? Does that make sense to you? Am I right? I think I'm right. I'm not sure I like it. Just seems like an ineffectual path. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting some extra resources fairly early on. I know we don't export very much, but that should be fine. We are finishing up some of these ships. I guess I'll just go ahead and allow a few extra dockyards to get attached to all of these until we are done. And at some point, I should probably consider researching some upgrades for a few of my U-boats and stuff. I mean, we haven't got access to snorkels yet. We'll get there eventually. We could modify the officer corps. Chief of Army? Yeah. Division attack, speed, training time. I mean, I like the extra 8% organization, but I also really love attack. I think I will take the attack guy and just start generating more passive army experience. All right, the direction of the economy. Which direction shall we go? To overcome the influence that the Entente powers have over Europe, we must shift the economic center of Europe from France to Germany. 2 plans have been drafted to have Germany's industrial output outpace France's as soon as possible. One led by our lead architect who wants to tie the economies of lesser European nations to Germany. So not quite imperialism, but going in that direction. Neo-imperialism, whatever it's going to be. Giving us an advantage over them. Okay. Opposing plan in which the state will take over key industries to maximize efficiency. I'm being honest, I think we're going to stick with our lead architect. I don't like that the focus of that said Hitler's the man. Just, again, it's one of those no context things, but we'll go with it. Strasser has fled to the Kiel zone. Disputes between Otto Strasser and Adam Dressler have been growing for years now. His anti-capitalist views have gathered the negative attention of many Volkist officials and even earned him accusations of holding socialist sympathies. I could have told you that just from the icons in his national focus options. Dressler's recent appointment of his personal architect to the point of economic ministers effectively pushed Strasser out of German politics. He fled to the Danish-controlled Holstein to support its fledgling collectivist movement. Wait, Denmark is going collectivist? Damn that shadow Marxist! They're social democrats. Yeah, they're kind of going that direction a little bit, I suppose. So let's see. Make Ukraine like us, make Sweden like us, get factories and get Austria to like us. Production efficiency cap. Military factories, a bunch of them. Polish arms deal and Lithuanian bases. Truth be told, the sooner we do this, maybe the better. I mean, 730 days is a lot of days. But I could go for the Austrian iron, or I could start working down things like this and go for the civilian construction speed as fast as possible. Let's start with the Austrian iron because I think at the end of the day, what is it, 4 more factories, is going to end up being better than the 10% civilian factory construction speed in terms of how much economic value we get. Though I'm doing a bunch of head math, I might be wrong on that point. It is just a guess, an intelligent, hopefully, guess. Naval experience and stuff, or would I rather get things like air experience? I mean, meh. Submarine detection could be good. Mechanical computing is done, fantastic. Let's go ahead and start working on the radar station, which is gonna allow for coordination to begin. I feel like getting a little bit of radar is generally not too bad. Austrian Iron Man, 4 factories, all right. Plus, Austria's gonna get an event. Hopefully something good comes out of this. Now, it doesn't look to me like I get an Anschluss option. I did not see a lot of conquest. So we may have a somewhat more peaceful Germany start than I would have expected, but we'll see. So Austria agrees to iron shipments. Excellent. So they're gonna be more tied to us economically. And we get a research bonus for construction tech. Nice. All right, so with that done, let's go for the German spirit. And we'll have an option to go for a research slot pretty early on, or start working down here, get the infrastructure, get the factories going, and the more we can snowball our economy, generally speaking, the better off we are going to be, am I right? London stock market crash. Ah, goody. So if I want to train a bunch more troops, and I probably should, what would we do? Well, I would probably start just by simply training a bunch of infantry. So let's go ahead and train a whole bunch more, and then that will give me some idea what we need. It's mostly gonna be infantry equipment to start. Fair enough. Let's go ahead and toss a couple extra factories in that away. Afterwards, I'm thinking lots of fighters and close air support are gonna be the way to go. Probably don't need this many tactical bombers. I rarely use them, to be honest, but we'll see. Dressler declares the Treaty of Versailles is dead. A little early to be doing that, if I'm completely honest with you. We're not exactly ready to peeve off the Entente, but okay. As part of the Treaty of Versailles, which officially ended the Great War, Germany was dismantled and humiliated following immense territorial concessions to the Entente. When our party came to power in 1933, we were forced by threat of French intervention to abide and respect the terms of limitations set by the Treaty of Versailles. But now that France is in the middle of devastating recession, we are confident that our government will be too weak to stand up to us. We can build our own strength and defy the Entente without hesitation, getting you war support, revanchism, which gets me more, and then French are gonna be angry. Cool. Why is... Hello? Oh, I'm the leader of a faction, and the Netherlands, who is run by national populists with Bernhard as the leader, are in a faction with me. Oh, okay. Sure, you know, I didn't even notice that, but cool, we're starting off with a faction. Me likey. Do you want to go for an industrial company early? I think the answer is yes, and going for the extra 10% civilian ooh, that's a lot of political power gain. Wow. Wow. Refinery construction speed? Ooh. And electronics research speed instead of industrial. Eee. What's gonna be better for me here? Ooh, man, I don't know, actually. All three of these are pretty good. 5% civilian in exchange for industrial research speed, 5% more of that, and refinery speed. Let's just go for the straight out factories. I know that that's good. I don't know how many refineries I'm really going to build. To be honest, it's been a long, long time since I played as Germany in general. So I don't know what's gonna be good for me here, but we'll give this a shot. All right, so that's our first episode, jumping into Führerreich. I like that it's similar enough to the real world, but definitely different. So we're gonna see where this is gonna go. I'm hoping that I'm gonna have the option to go on a conquest spree and start World War II, kind of like real world scenarios, because I like early conquests, let's be honest, but we will see. We will see what happens. Thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed. If so, I'd ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.